Throughout her reign, Queen Elizabeth II traveled extensively and met world leaders over many decades while acting as a representative of the UK. She also had to overcome numerous controversies related to the royal family. Dan Orell takes a look at the life of times of the late monarch.
Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor was born in London on April 21st, 1926, the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York. She was not born to be Queen. It was in fact her father's elder brother, Prince Edward, who was destined for the British crown, followed by any children he had. However, in 1936, when she was 10, Edward VIII abdicated to marry the divorced American Wallis Simpson. Elizabeth's father subsequently became King George VI. Elizabeth was barely a teenager when World War II broke out in 1939. She made her first public broadcast in 1940 when she was 14, sending a wartime message to evacuated children. In 1945, the heir to the throne trained with the UK's Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she learned to drive and service heavy vehicles. Elizabeth married Royal Navy officer Philip Mountbatten at Westminster Abbey in November 1947. She had first met Philip, a Prince of Greece and Denmark, in 1939 when she was 13 and he 18. Post-war Britain was struggling economically, so street decorations were limited and no public holiday was declared to celebrate the wedding. The first of their 4 children, Prince Charles, was born in 1948. He was followed by Princess Anne in 1950, Prince Andrew in 1960, and Prince Edward in 1964. In 1952, George VI died at 56. Elizabeth was told that she was now the Queen while on a visit to Kenya. Her coronation took place more than a year later at Westminster Abbey. Throughout her reign, the Queen toured the world, meeting leading political and religious figures amid a changing diplomatic landscape while acting as a representative of the UK. She also held weekly meetings with Britain's prime ministers.
Since 1952, I have witnessed the transformation of the international landscape through which this country must chart its course. The emergence of the Commonwealth, the growth of the European Union, the end of the Cold War, and now the dark threat of international terrorism.
However, during the Queen's time on the throne, the royal family was embroiled in a number of controversies. 1992 was dubbed by the Queen as her Annus Horribilis. That year saw her daughter Princess Anne divorced, as Prince Charles and his wife Princess Diana separated. So did her son Prince Andrew and his wife Sarah. Windsor Castle was also seriously damaged by a fire. The split of Charles and Diana was compounded by the shock of Diana's death in a car crash in Paris in 1997. Elizabeth's failure to immediately make a public show of grief appeared to strike the wrong chord with the British people. After several days, she finally made a televised address to the nation.
I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being. In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness.
The hit to the Queen's popularity was brief, but royal family woes continued in the 2000s. The Queen's grandson, Prince Harry, walked away from Britain and his royal duties after marrying American actress Meghan Markle in 2018. He alleged in an interview that some in the family, but not the Queen, had not been welcoming to his wife, who's biracial. Later, her son Prince Andrew was accused of involvement in a sexual scandal, which he denied. Her husband, Prince Philip, passed away in 2021 in what was a heavy blow for the monarch. Despite dealing with episodic mobility issues, the Queen continued her duties, albeit in limited capacity. She held virtual meetings with diplomats and politicians from Windsor Castle, but public appearances grew rarer. Meanwhile, she took steps to prepare for the transition to come, notably announcing in February that she wanted Charles's wife Camilla to be known as Queen Consort, when in the fullness of time her son became king. The Queen's last major act proved to be the appointment of Liz Truss as British Prime Minister at Balmoral Estate in Scotland earlier this week. Queen Elizabeth II will go down in history as Britain's longest-serving monarch. In 2015, she overtook her great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria's reign of 63 years on the throne. In June 2020, she celebrated her Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 years on the throne. Dan Orell, TVB News.